Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into one of the most explosive political developments of 2025. It's Elon Musk's brand new America Party and how it could completely reshape the American political landscape as we know it. Just months ago, Musk was Trump's first buddy, heading the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, he's launched a third party that could torpedo Republican chances in 2026 and beyond. We're talking about a political earthquake that has Trump calling Musk off the rails and MAGA in complete chaos. I have a video here of Trump just going off.
Still going?
Starting a third party. I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
So Musk's strategy isn't just to win the presidency. It's something far more clever and potentially devastating. By targeting just 2 to 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts, he could become the kingmaker in Washington. And with razor-thin margins, like we saw with Trump's big, beautiful bill passing by just one vote, Musk could have the power to make or break every major piece of legislation. So buckle up, because we're about to explore how the world's richest man is playing 4D chess with American democracy, why the MAGA movement is fracturing over the Epstein Files, and how this could all lead to electoral chaos, the likes of which we haven't seen since Ross Perot in 1992. Now, I think that the Republicans are just underestimating what the American Party can bring to the U.S. and how it can really throw a wrench into the Republicans in 2026 and just making major overhaul. I really do think that Trump is really underestimating the fallout of this Epstein Files. So let's get started and to see how this all started. And actually, all of this did start with the big, beautiful bill. And this is what caused Elon Musk to start this whole entire shitstorm. So just a month ago, Elon Musk was arguably the second most powerful man in Washington, running Trump's Department of Government Efficiency and promising to cut government waste. But then came Trump's one big, beautiful bill, a massive, massive bill. $4.5 trillion spending package that would add $3.3 trillion to the national debt. Musk went absolutely nuclear on social media, calling it insane spending and threatening to form the America Party if the bill passed. Trump fired back, saying Musk was upset about losing his electric vehicle subsidies and calling him more subsidized than any other human being in history. And here's the quote here. He said, Elon may get more subsidies than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would have a fortune. Wow. So this is how it all started. And the bill passed anyways, in the narrowest of margins in the Senate. It was Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote of 51-50 in the House, 218 to 214, with only 2 Republicans breaking ranks. Just 1 vote difference between passage and failure. So that makes Musk good on his threat. And after polling on X, where 65% of 1.25 million respondents supported creating a new party, Musk announced by a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. Their strategic masterstroke. Here's where Musk's genius becomes clear. He's not trying to win the presidency. That's a fool's errand. The third parties in America. Instead, he's playing a much smarter game. Musk announced the America Party would focus on just 2 to 3 Senate states, and he's going to focus on the purple states here. Think about the strategy for a moment. With such thin majorities in Congress, winning even a handful of seats makes you the most powerful person in Washington. You become the swing vote on everything. Remember how Trump's big, beautiful bill barely passed? If Musk had those 2 to 3 Senate senators and 8 to 10 House members right now, that bill would be dead. Every major piece of legislation would have to go through Elon Musk first. So this becomes the power of marginal gains. How a few seats can change everything. So let's get deeper into that. Why Musk's targeted strategy is so brilliant. In our hyper-polarized political system, legislative victories often come down to just a few votes. The Big Beautiful Bill is the perfect example of this. It passed the House with exactly the minimum number of votes needed, 218 out of 432 voting members. If just 3 more Republicans had voted against it, the bill would have failed. 3 votes, that's it. If the Senate, it was even closer. The 51-50 vote required Vance to break the tie. If Musk controlled even 2 senators, he could have killed the bill entirely. So what is the historical precedence of all of this? And there is a power to small parties, and this just isn't theoretical. We've seen this play out before. Look at the UK, where the Democratic Unionist Party, 10 seats gave the kingmaker status during Brexit negotiations. Or consider Joe Manchin's essentially a party one, single-handedly shaped Biden's entire domestic agenda. In American history, even unsuccessful third parties have widened outsized influence. The Progressive Party, 88 House seats in 1912, forced both major parties to adopt progressive reforms. The Populist Party of the 1890s saw the entire platform, direct election of senators, income tax, railroad regulation, eventually adopted by Americans and Republicans. Musk understands the dynamic perfectly. He's not trying to win a majority, he's trying to win control. And now for the math. Looking ahead to 2026, the math is favorable for Musk's strategy. Republicans will be defending 23 Senate seats versus Democrats' 10. Several of these races are in purple states where well-funded third-party candidates could win, or at least play a spoiler. In the House, there are dozens of districts that could flip with the right candidate and enough money. And Musk has more money than any political actor in American history. He spent $277 million in the 2024 election alone. And that was when he was supporting Trump. Imagine what he'll spend when he's building his own party. So then we come down to the Electoral College. And this has always been a problem. The system just is not built for 3 parties. So again, the Electoral College, this is where it's going to change everything, because our entire political system is designed around 2 parties, and introducing a serious third party creates chaos that the founders never anticipated. So here's the nightmare scenario. Imagine the 2028 presidential election with Trump or his successor, a Democrat, and Musk's America Party candidate. And let's just say the America Party wins 15% of the popular vote and carries a few states, maybe Texas, where Musk has deep ties, or Colorado, Nevada, mostly the libertarian states where he can actually resonate with those people. If no candidate gets 270 electoral votes, the election goes to the House of Representatives. But here's the kicker. It's not 1 vote per representative. It's only 1 vote per state delegation. So Wyoming gets the same as California. And then this creates the whole chaos factor. This is where things get very, very interesting. In a contingent election, Musk's handful of representatives become kingmakers. They could demand anything: cabinet positions, policy concessions, complete restructuring of government. Remember, Musk's entire political philosophy is disruption. He didn't become the world's richest man by playing by existing rules. He rewrote the rules for electric vehicles, space travel, and social media. So why would politics be any different at all? The mere possibility of this scenario would force both major parties to take Musk seriously. They'd have to court his endorsement, adopt his policies, maybe even offer him cabinet positions just to prevent electoral chaos. So what's going on with the whole MAGA fracture? And there is a problem. Definitely, I think the Republicans are definitely underestimating this problem with the Epstein Files. Musk's third party isn't the only threat to Republican unity. The MAGA movement is fracturing. over what might seem like an unrelated issue, the Epstein Files. And the controversy is creating exactly the kind of chaos that could help Musk's American Party. During the campaign, Trump and his allies reportedly promised to release all the Jeffrey Epstein files, all of them, and expose the entire client list of powerful people in politics and business and even within Hollywood. MAGA influencers, conspiracy theorists, and ordinary supporters were convinced this would be Trump's biggest bombshell. But instead, the Justice Department released a memo concluding that Epstein died by suicide, that no client list exists, and that the case is effectively closed. The MAGA base erupted in fury. So this becomes a trust crisis. The Republican Party is definitely in crisis. And it's just not about Epstein, it's about trust. For years, MAGA supporters have been told that Trump is different, that he'll expose the deep state and drain the swamp. The Epstein files were supposed to be proof of that commitment. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who promised maximum transparency, claimed to have a client list on her desk, has become the primary target of the MAGA rage. Influential figures like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Laura Loomer are all calling for her resignation. Even Alex Jones is back in the mix, promoting conspiracy theories about government cover-ups. Then we bring in the Musk factor. And guess who's amplifying these concerns? During his feud with Trump, Musk posted, without evidence, the Epstein files weren't being released because Trump was featured in them. After the DOJ memo, he posted a mocking graphic, the official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter. And this is the tweet that he sent out here. Essentially, 0000. This is complete political jiu-jitsu at its finest. Musk is using Trump's own base against him, exploiting the very conspiracy theories that helped build the MAGA movement in the first place. So what are the historical lessons that we can learn from what happened before, i.e. Ross Perot, which is giving you the complete blueprint of what a third party could look like? To understand what Musk might accomplish, we need to look at history's most successful third-party candidates. The closest parallel is Ross Perot in 1992, and the similarities are striking. Like Musk, Perot was a billionaire businessman who had never held office. Like Musk, he could position himself as an outsider who could fix a broken system. Like Musk, he focused obsessively on fiscal responsibility and government waste. Perot won 19% of the popular vote. Nearly 20 million Americans chose him over George Bush and Bill Clinton. He participated in all three presidential debates and for a brief moment actually led in the polls. So this creates a whole disruption effect. More importantly, Perot permanently changed American politics. His focus on the federal deficit forced both parties to take fiscal responsibility seriously throughout the 1990s. His use of TV infomercials and direct voter outreach pioneered modern political communication. But Perot also demonstrated the limitations of third parties. Despite his success, he won 0 electoral votes. The system absorbed his ideas, but excluded his movement. And then we had the Nader effect, Ralph Nader. The other crucial example, in 2000, Nader won just 2.7% of the vote. But in a razor-close election, those votes may have swung the presidency from Al Gore to George W. Bush. In Florida alone, the Nader received 488,000 votes, while Bush won just 537. This is the spoiler effect that Republicans fear from Musk's American Party. Even if the American Party doesn't win seats, it could cost Republicans crucial elections. But why is Musk different? Musk has advantages that Perot and Nader never had. He's richer than both combined. Second, he owns a major media platform on X. Third, he's building a party when trust in the institution is at historic lows. And this is just an example of how much reach he has. Musk has 210 million followers versus Trump that has like 44 million followers. So 210 million followers, and it is growing exponentially, and that's for sure. Most importantly, Musk understand the goal isn't to replace the two-party system, it's to exploit its vulnerabilities. So what's the path going forward? He's going to target states and districts. So that's where Musk is going to focus most of his efforts. Looking at the electoral map here, Musk's home base in Texas. With a libertarian streak and growing tech industry, the American Party could appeal to suburban Republicans disgusted with Trump's while attracting independents concerned about government spending. In Colorado and Nevada, purple states with educated, affluent voters who might be attracted to Musk's techno-optimist message. Arizona, another purple state with a history of independent voters and growing tech sector. In the House, Musk would likely target suburban districts where Republican incumbents are more vulnerable. The Democrats might not be strong enough to win. Places like Orange County, California, or suburban Atlanta, where educated voters are looking for an alternative to both parties. And Musk is definitely going to have the tech supporters in California on his side. There's also the money advantage. Musk has unlimited resources. He could spend $1 billion on the 2026 midterms without affecting his lifestyle at all. He could hire the best campaign staff, flood the airways with ads, and build grassroots organizations straight from the scratch, all the way up. Traditionally, political rules don't apply when one person can outspend both parties combined. But here's where the disruption timeline comes. And this is how it could definitely play out in 2025. So first major midterm elections are in 2026, and he could target 10 to 15 winnable races in 2027, consolidating gains, preparing for a presidential cycle for 2028. The presidential campaign can focus on contingent election or extracting major concessions. So what is the bigger picture in all of this? What we're witnessing isn't just the birth of another third party, it's the political reshaping of American democracy. America's party represents something new, a movement with unlimited resources, sophisticated technology, and a clear-eyed understanding of how to exploit our very system's weaknesses. The fracturing of the MAGA movement over issues like the Epstein Files creates the absolute perfect opening for Musk to peel away disaffected Republicans. Meanwhile, his focus on fiscal responsibility and government efficiency could attract independents and even more Democrats. The real question isn't whether Musk can build a successful third party with his resources and platform. He almost certainly can. The question is whether our democratic institutions can handle the chaos that comes with it. So what does this mean for you? For voters, this represents both opportunity and danger. The opportunity is very clear, a potential alternative to the endless polarization of our two-party system. The danger is equally clear, the possibility of electoral chaos that could undermine faith in democracy itself. One thing's for certain, American politics will never be the same. Elon Musk didn't just announce the America Party. He declared war on the whole political establishment. And with his resources, his reach, and his ruthless intelligence, he might just win. And so I'd like to hear what you guys think. I really do think that he is going to cause a major disruption in this whole democratic stability. I think that if he does sway over enough voters, it's gonna wipe out a lot of those swing states. I think that the Republicans won. I think it's going to be a major disruption, in my opinion. I think Trump needs to address the Epstein Files. Throwing it under the carpet is not going to help him. And I also think that Musk is so smart. He sees an opening and he will for sure step through that door. If that door opens up just a little bit, and it has with this whole Epstein Files going down and a lot of his base losing trust and a lot of his big supporters going against him, I think that's opening that door a little bit where it's going to cause movement in the midterms in the 2026. Love him or hate him, he is a very smart guy. And I think the younger generation that are all on X and getting their information not from the news stations anymore, they're getting it from social media, and he's got the biggest platform and the most money, and he's super smart. I think that there's going to be a reckoning there. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. I think that this is going to be a big deal, and he's smart enough just to go at it strategically. and slowly. He's not going for the big McCoy. He's going to go very slowly and pick out the because he's a numbers guy. He can analyze the numbers up, down, and around. He's going to find those few seats that he needs in those areas and go hard. And like I said, he only needs like 2-3 seats to make a huge difference. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys soon.